Welcome to this explainer. We're diving straight into the absolute, unadulterated chaos of the 2026 World Cup bronze medal match. We're talking about the penultimate fixture of the entire tournament, down in Miami, where England and France stepped onto the pitch. Now, both of these squads were dealing with the gut punch of semi-final defeats. England having just fallen to Argentina. Usually, these third-place playoffs, they can be a bit slow, a bit cautious. The players are just mentally packing their bags. But this one? This was a total whirlwind that literally rewrote the history books. Just let that sink in for a second. 10 goals shared between two heavyweight teams who were just recovering from massive semifinal heartbreak. Think about the heavy legs, right? The physical and emotional fatigue these guys were carrying after a grueling World Cup campaign. You absolutely do not expect a double-digit scoreline at this stage. Yet, somehow, both of these squads found this ridiculous extra gear. They left everything out on the pitch in a display of relentless, non-stop attacking football. It was, as the commentator perfectly captured in the heat of the moment, a 9-goal thriller, and then some. This showdown defied every single expectation we had going in. What we thought might be a cautious tactical chess match instantly morphed into an all-out, breathless heavyweight brawl. Let's actually look at how England set the tone early on and just blew the doors completely off this game. Because England didn't just score, they ruthlessly punished French complacency. Literally 2 minutes and 16 seconds into the match, France tries playing out from the back, gives away this incredibly sloppy pass, and boom, Declan Rice pounces. He creates a tiny bit of space and absolutely caresses the ball right into the far corner. The French goalkeeper was frozen, didn't even move. Then, barely inside the opening 20 minutes, Rice whips a spot-on ball to the near post, and Ezri Kana meets it with a phenomenal header. 2-0 right out of the gate. They completely dismantled a totally stunned French squad, racing into a dominating 4-0 lead before the halftime whistle even blew. And it wasn't just the attack doing the work. The tone was set at the back. Dean Henderson and Mar made these massive, absolutely vital blocks on the goal line to deny France any hope of an early lifeline. From there, Marcus Rashford and Bukayo Saka were just relentless. They literally did not stop running. Saka grabs the third on a rapid-fire break, and then, right when France is just begging for halftime, Saka nets his second. It was a disastrous first 45 minutes for France, a really bitter pill, especially knowing this was the farewell match for their head coach, Didier Deschamps. But as they say, it's a game of two halves, and this was the ultimate tale of two halves. Emerging from the tunnel, France was practically an entirely different team. While England had run completely rampant in the first period, the French squad suddenly found this massive injection of pace, energy, and directness. If England thought they could just coast through the rest of the game sitting on a 4-goal cushion, well, they were in for a pretty brutal wake-up call. Fueled by Elise's brilliant direct play and a totally unexpected burst of energy, finishes by Mbappé and Barker immediately made things incredibly uncomfortable for England. Within the opening 9 minutes of the second half, France came roaring right back into it. Elise's running down the far side was exceptional, completely tearing up the flank to set up Mbappé for a crucial strike. And shortly after that, a brilliant ball in behind leads to a fantastic finish by Barker. Just like that, it's 4-2. Who saw this coming? The sleeping giant was wide awake, and they were playing some absolutely mesmerizing football. And just as the tension reached its absolute peak, we hit a milestone that honestly transcends this single match. With France surging forward in waves and England desperately trying to hold on to their rapidly shrinking lead, we witnessed a moment of pure sporting immortality that completely shifted the gravity of the game. Mbappé's historic second strike of the game brought France right back into it at 4-3, cementing his legendary status right in the middle of an otherwise chaotic team collapse. Goal number 22 for the French superstar. With that strike, he officially passed Lionel Messi to become the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history. No way, right? It's an unbelievable individual achievement. And it really matters here, because doing it while literally dragging his team back from a 4-goal deficit, that just speaks to his sheer, undeniable willpower and generational quality. As the clock ticked past that 45-minute mark, we were plunged into a breathless, chaotic climax, where both teams were just trading blow after blow in a desperate race against time. France is surging, but they're missing glorious opportunities. Elise actually had 2 massive chances he somehow couldn't convert. But England, they banned without completely breaking, setting us up for one of the wildest finishing sequences in any modern tournament. After Jed Spence earned a crucial penalty, Saka steps up and completes his hat-trick to give England a 5-3 cushion. But, spoiler alert, the drama was far from over. Let's rewind slightly. Morgan Rogers did brilliantly to hold the ball up and find Spence making this deep, driving run into the box, eventually drawing the foul. Saka takes the ball, steps up to the spot, and gives the keeper absolutely zero chance. He secures his World Cup hat-trick. Boy, England really needed that breather. But as you can probably guess, it wouldn't last long. Almost instantly, Dembele answered back to make it a one-goal game again, capitalizing on a surprisingly poor under-hit ball from Declan Rice. Boom, it's 5-4. The clock is kicking down, the tension is just unbearable. And then the ball falls to Jude Bellingham in the center of the pitch on literally the game's final kick. Instead of just laying it off or wasting time, which, let's be honest, is what everyone expected him to do, Bellingham takes matters into his own hands. He unleashes an absolute world-class finish right at the buzzer. 6-4, the final whistle blows. When the dust finally settled on this historic 6-4 victory, the overall stats were just staggering. England secured their best finish in 60 years, in a match that truly tested the absolute physical and mental limits of both squads. Just listen to the sheer volume of accomplishments here. You got Saka with a brilliant hat-trick, you got Mbappé making literal history with a brace, and Bellingham finishing the whole shebang off with world-class flair. It was the ultimate showcase of resilience. I mean, both teams were completely gutted after the semifinals, yet they managed to put on a spectacle that fans will be talking about for decades. So what does this all mean? This match wasn't just your standard bronze medal game. It was a pure testament to the sheer willpower of these players. For France, it marks the end of an era under their longtime manager, but simultaneously the crowning of a new all-time top scorer. And for England, it's their best finish in 6 decades, propelled by a youthful, completely relentless attack. So how will this dizzying 10-goal thriller propel these incredible players into their next chapter? That's something we're definitely going to be watching very, very closely. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and as always, stay curious.